Hello everyone, my name is Cesar from Wirestream. Today I am here in West Covina, California to deploy a new system with security cameras. Right behind me here are the Costco Reolink cameras. Now the recording is going to not match my voice as I'm talking because my microphone failed, so I'm doing a voiceover now. But basically what I want to show you guys is everything that we did at this property. The microphone didn't fail on every instance, but here I'm doing the voiceover. Now, okay, well, let me explain to you exactly what we did at this property. This particular house is getting 8 cameras, one right here at the very corner, and Francisco, as you will see there, he's already running the wires. I was on the inside opening up some of the items. Now, from here on, we're gonna get one all the way in the back and another one here on the top corner. Now, it's important to do a survey when you're doing security cameras. In this case, I have already went over the whole house with the customer, so that way they know which way the cameras are pointing, which views they're gonna get with the cameras, so that way we don't have to do the job twice. So this is generally what you're gonna be able to see with a camera right there from that angle. In this case, as you saw, they have a couple of trees in the front, so we're not going to be able to angle the cameras one looking at the other one. What we're going to do is have the cameras looking at more at 180, combining two cameras. Okay, so as I have done on other videos with the Reolink security cameras, this once again are the Costco Reolink security cameras. They normally are on sale for around $600. And the cool thing about the system is that you don't have to pay a subscription. Once you buy the system, it's all yours. And this is a 12 megapixel camera system, which is going to allow you to view it on your phone. The cameras also have a deterrent light. It has a two-way audio. It has an IR, so that means you can view the cameras at night. So this is a very good system for the price point. You're going to also find other cameras similar to this one, such as Lorix. There are many other ones. The next level up from here, I would say, is something like the Ubiquiti cameras. And then from there, we jump onto the DW Spectrum cameras. So let's get to it. We're going to start opening up the NVR. This is, again, a 16-channel NVR. I want to show you exactly what comes in the box. So that way, if you're buying the system, you know what to expect when you open up the system. Let me first remove the wrap so that way we get a better view on what's inside. But in the back, you're going to see that it has 16 ports. That way you can connect all your cameras directly to it. It has a VGA port for your monitor, HDMI port, and also it has your Ethernet. And then there is the power adapter plus the on and off button. And there is an audio out, but that's normally something we don't use. Let's go ahead and move on to opening up one of the box that comes inside the NVR. So inside here, you were going to see that it comes with a mouse. We also get the power supply that's going to be connected onto the wall. It's about 5 feet long in total. So that way you have to have your power cord somewhat close to the NVR/DVR. From then on, we just get a template on how to mount the cameras, which we don't really use because we do so many of them already. And lastly, an HDMI cable, which is around 3 feet. You may need it or you may not, as depending on where you're going to connect your system. Moving on, the next thing, let me show you the cameras. I have already taken a couple cameras out, so this particular one we're going to go ahead and open. But first of all, I want to show you the cables. The cables is something that we don't use on a day-to-day basis. We may use it as a jumper or some special situation, but generally we like to bring our own Cat 5 or Cat 6 cables to do the deployment. And it's not that the cables don't work. The reason why we do it is because it's much easier to work with cables that come inside the box. All right, moving on to the security camera. On the back, you're going to see the mounting plate, and that just screws on. As far as security, I would say, there are other cameras that get mounted a little bit more secure. On the top of the camera, you're going to see that there is the speaker. Depending how you turn the camera, the speaker usually will end up at the bottom because right on the top it shows the up position. And also it has your regular lights and your IR lights and your motion. right here, you're going to see that you just have the Ethernet connector plus your reset button on there and your power button in case you want to plug in the camera independently. All right, let me go ahead and show you a little bit more of what we're going to do inside the house. And yeah, let's get started on that. On this portion, I'm going to move fairly quickly just because all I'm doing here is just unboxing the NVR again and just put it on top of the boxes. We're going to install the NVR right here in the garage, so it's not going to be inside the house. But as Francisco is connecting the cameras, we want to have some visibility of how the cameras are being aligned and, you know, just getting everything connected and online before we place the NVR all the way on the top.
So that way you guys can see as I configure this system. But before I do that, let me run this cable to the internet as a temporary wire until we get all the wires over here. And then we'll go ahead through the setup of the logins and everything that we do with the passwords and everything. Okay, so I have already connected the internet here from the back. You will see this is again, this is a temporary internet solution. I have already have everything powered up. And this is the first menu that you're going to get when you turn on the NVR to a monitor. I have my monitor connected right here from the side. And the first thing it's going to ask you is the screen resolution. This monitor, I can change it, but I'm going to leave it as is for now, as this is not going to be the permanent monitor. So here you're going to get the you know, type of language that you want to use, resolution. You can, like in this case, I can do, for most people it's going to be 1920 by 1080. If you want a higher resolution, I'm going to leave it as is for mine for now. And here your format of date, we're here in the US, and I'm going to leave it as is. So this is date, month, and year. I'm going to use the 24-hour format because when going back on the time, you want to see whether it's faster to see, you know, if you see like 1300 hours versus 1 p.m. because 1 p.m. could be also 1 a.m. So I'm going to go ahead and hit next on that. The QR code that you get, and I'm not going to show you that just to protect the customer, but in this option you have to enable the QR code, so that way this is the portion that allows you to get connected to your app. So I'm going to go ahead and turn it on, and once it's on, then you can hit next. Here is the next portion, which is the time, which area you're in. So I'm going to hit Pacific Standard Time, and I'm also going to select. I'm going to leave it off in this instance. But you can also select the daytime savings. But I'm going to leave it off for now. Here is our main account, and for now, I'm just going to select a password that's not easy to guess. Okay, so now that I have entered the password here, we have the account name, which is going to be admin, and the type of account is going to be super admin. That's by default. And then I selected the password, which right now I can select the view password if you want to see and make sure that it's correct. And also I'm leaving this check mark as if somebody's trying to edit the configuration on the system, it's going to require a password to be put in. Now, if you have somebody like always making changes or always logging in to look at footage or whatnot, you might want to leave it unchecked because it's pretty cumbersome to have to unlock it every time, especially if you have a difficult password. Okay, on here's the security questions. I don't really do much for the security questions. I just put anything. I don't have a reason to forget the password, and I also provide the password to the customers, and then they can come in and add their own questions and change their own password if they like. This portion right here is you can add the name of the DVR or the NVR. In this case, I'm just going to leave it as NVR, and I'm going to put it as HQ just to add something on there. Here is the capacity of the hard drive. This is a 4 terabyte hard drive. And as you see, it's already using some space here. We can format it if we need to. Formatting really happens when you add a new hard drive, an additional hard drive to the system. In this case, we're not doing that. We're just using the internal hard drive that's already there. We're going to select next. Access to the internet is going to be DHCP. What that means is going to get an IP directly from the router that's connected. And same thing for the DNS, is going to get that information from the router. If you don't want this to have for it to be selecting its own IP address, then you select static on that end right there. But we're not going to do this on this instance. Here, if you want to get notifications, you can add this information. I usually just leave this alone. I just hit next. I don't do anything with this portion right here. And then right after that, we get the first security camera added onto here. And here we are. You can see that we have our first security camera right here that was added. And to pull it up, you're just gonna require the password. I'm gonna hit cancel for now. See? So meaning that if you want to change the layout, then that's how you do it. Again, we have we can go back to our settings right here. And I'm not gonna go through those settings right now because this is it. That's all we need to do to get into the system. All right, let me go ahead and start the installation so you guys can see, once we have all the cameras added. Okay guys, so we're gonna make a hole right here. We're gonna be using 2 drills. Technically you can just do it with this one, but it's much easier when you have a harder, bigger drill. So I'm gonna drill a hole right here in the concrete, and then it goes wood. So I'm gonna start with this one. And instead of putting the camera right here on the fascia, I'm gonna do this one on the wall. So that way we have visibility of the garage a little bit. See? Yep, so we got wood on the other side, so I'm gonna start with the concrete drill bit. And I'm gonna start with the smaller one so I don't so I don't do too much damage to the wall. The camera faceplate is gonna cover everything, but yeah, I'm gonna start. Usually I always start with the small one. So that means we hit the first layer. I'm going to switch to the bigger one just to get the hole big enough. Okay, so now I can use a butterfly drill bit just to get the cables inside for the camera. Alright, so I got my butterfly drill bit now. This is gonna get the drill bit or the hole big enough for us to fix the cable of the camera. Let me get that going. Okay, and I can see that it went all through. Let me quickly pause and let me show you why we did the hole that big. All right, so the reason why I just made that hole that big, so this can fit in there, this and all the other cables. So let me show you really quick. So this will go fish like that, and the rest of the cables will go in there. Fish one through first, and then the rest, and then the camera will go like this. So you're not going to be able to see that hole because everything is in the back already. So once we get all that, this is lower than the fascia right here, so that way the camera can see straight. We're going to point it a little bit that way so we can also see a little bit of the garage. Show you more once we get the camera installed. All right, so here I am in the back of the house. I'm drilling a hole onto the stucco here because this will end up exactly in the garage, so we can pull the cable. In other scenarios, if we didn't have like a way to pull the cable inside, then we have to bring the cable out to the fascia right here and drill right there inside, which usually ends up in the attic. So let me drill straight through and see where it comes out in the garage. across. Okay, so now we're all the way across. Let's go check out where it came inside. We ended up being right here, right on the 2x4. So that means the next hole that we do for this wall, we're gonna be at the same level, and we're gonna move it about 6 inches from the wall so we don't get to the 2x4. Otherwise, we need to use an extension. So that's the hole that we're gonna use to cross the cable. In the meantime, Francisco's getting all those cables here. So he already has about four or five cables. Three are for security cameras, and one is going to be for the internet that sits in the living room. Okay, let's go make the other hole. Okay, so I already know where this hole is at, so now I gotta go and do this hole right here. And I am going to start again with the concrete drill bit. And again, this is the mark. This is going to be right at the level that we want it. And we know that there is a 2x4. Put this on here. I already know there is a 2x4 in the garage that goes to here plus extra. So I'm probably going to be right around here. So then I miss any of the 2x4s. So let me go ahead and drill in, and then we'll inspect it on the inside. Let's go inside. This one, I guess it was straight stucco, or the wood is not that hard, and we were able to go straight in. So let's go check on the inside, see what we got. All right, so this one was straight stucco. You will see the hole ended up being right on the corner where we wanted it. So we were right below the 2x4, but also we missed this 2x4 right here. So that way we don't have to, have a long drill bit. The other one right here, this is where our two cameras are gonna go. So we got this camera on that side, this one on that side, and the one on in front of the garage. Let me show you where the one in the garage came out. Let's move this way. So we got the one in the garage right here, coming out this way, and this is what it looks like on the front. So we got the hole right here. This is where the camera is gonna go. And again, we're missing the fascia right below the fascia, so the fascia doesn't obstruct the view. And we can essentially move the camera to look something like this, to still be the garage, or we can just move it forward like that. So we'll have options with that. All right, let's keep doing the work. Okay, so I got my wire already here coming from that direction. Let me show you really quick. So as I mentioned to you guys, I got my wire there, the hole that we drilled, wrapped it around here. Then we got the rest of the wires coming through the top right there. And now it just needs a few more staples to bring it down here with the rest of the wires. So Francisco already run the rest of the wires for the other cameras. Let me show you outside, because it's already been about 2 hours since we started, and he's already installing cameras. So we're making really good progress over here. Here's some of the wiring that we're running for this particular project, Cat 6 cable. And let me show you really quick what it looks like on the outside. So here we have our holes right there going inside the garage. We have this for one of our security cameras. And this is coax cable that has nothing to do with us, but we're just gonna cut it for the customer. That way it's not in the way. And again here, moving on to here, we got our cables going all the way. Let me show you all the way to where the cables are at right now. So here we have our cable that's going to end up on this side, facing the street, and moving this way. There is Francisco already putting his first camera right there, and again, let me give you a close-up of what Francisco's doing really quick. So really quick, he has already put the cables in the back, and now all he has to do is do the connector on this side. He's going to do the same thing for the one on the bottom, or for the one on the other side. All right, let's go back to finishing up those cables. All right, guys, the next portion here, I'm going to drill through all the beams right here to get to the other side, where I have already drilled the holes previously. So I already got my holes there. So instead of stapling all the way through, which I can do, I'm just gonna drill a few holes on the beams, and I'm gonna pull the cable as I go along. All right, let me get that done. Let me do one hole, and that way you guys can see how long it's gonna take per hole. One. Two. I put my two cables here together, so then I can start pulling. So there it is. So now moving to the next portion here. And I like to set up the ladder right in the middle, so that way I can capture two at the same time. Let me move this out of the way. Okay. It's best to wear a mask because you're going to see that a lot of dust is falling down. And at this point, I'm halfway done to get into the end there. So I'm going to start recording, and then we'll continue to record on the next as we do the cameras outside. I have all my cables here. I have completed the connectors. Got one more cable coming through over there, and I have everything set up here temporarily because we're gonna put this all the way on the top here. But right now, until we get to that portion, I wanted to put everything right here so I can see as the cameras are coming along. Once all the cameras are connected, then we can move everything up to the top. We're not gonna have a monitor connected, so it's all gonna be independent. But here are my connectors. I'm gonna go ahead and start connecting my internet, and I always like to label. I like to label all my cables, but specifically, I double label my internet so I'm not fighting with it. All these cables will be spooled on the top with a comb. We use a little device that combs the cables down, so that way everything's nice and neat wrapped on the top. So right now I'm gonna connect my internet, and then I am going to start seeing if the cameras come back or are connecting as we do the testing over here. Okay, so let me show you the back really quick. So you will see that the internet has two lights, one right here and one right there. So this is our internet cable. The cameras only have one cable, so this right here, when this has a light on, that means that there's already something connected to it. In this case, sometimes this may light up, but if the cable is not done properly, it will not, the signal will not come in. But this generally tells you that you already have something connected. So in this case, we have 4 cameras already connected. I have 2 lights and 2 pending right here. And then again, we have a 16-channel system. I'm going to open up the monitor here. And again, as I was saying, we already show 4 cameras coming in on the system. All right, so we already got 6 cameras connected, pending 2 more cameras. I know we were going to cut the video on the last instance, but let me show you something here on the screen on how you're going to change your password and how you're going to add the system to your app. So the first thing you're gonna do is you're gonna go to your menu right here, and then you have to make sure that you have an IP address here. This will already come up if you have already connected your internet cable. And then there is a portion here that you have to enable. And here we're gonna go to System, and then we're gonna go to Info. And I'm gonna block the code here, but under Info, you're gonna see the QR code here. You have to remember to enable this portion right here to allow the system to connect via the app or the computer. So right here, again, you enable this. It gives you the version number and the type of NVR, the name and everything. Another thing that we do from this portion right here, we can either add an additional user, or we can also change the password. And to change the password, we go here. It already has the username. We enter the old password right there. So we enter the old password, and if we need a confirmation of the new password, and that's where we do it. Again, we do that under Account, Settings, and then this is where you enter your new password. Okay, so this camera is now complete. You will see that, again, this is the Reolink. This is gonna face that section right there. Let me show you the other one. This one's also complete. This cameras are like, the connectors are not gonna get water or anything because everything's under. And this camera will be facing this area right here. And then we have one of the cameras all the way in the back over there, and that's gonna be looking this way. Okay, here we have a camera. Camera number 2. Camera number 3 all the way in the back over there. Where is it? Right there. All right, then that's it for this project. I hope to see you guys on the next video. Please like and subscribe. That'll help us continue to create content. Thank you very much.